Hey everybody, this week's Torah portion is Parsha Korach, and in this week's Torah portion we have the first ever challenge to Moshe's authority. A cousin of Moshe, Korach, decided to get a group of people, very influential people, and they got together and they started a rebellion against Moshe to try to challenge his leadership. And lo and behold, a disagreement ensued and the people were not really sure who was right. So they had to put it to the test, which they did, which resulted in the ground opening up and swallowing Korach and all his people, so that God showed to everybody that they were the ones that were wrong. Now what's interesting is that throughout the entire Torah and really throughout Tanakh, we find many different time periods when God had to remove a certain group of people from the planet. So for example, in the beginning of the Torah we have the flood, where God had to cause a flood to come and destroy the people. And we have the people of Sodom who were wiped out with a rain of fire. And there were other people who a plague hit them, and various different ways of execution. The one time that the ground opens up and swallows people, however, is only by Korach. And we have to ask ourselves, why is it that God chose that particular mode of execution for the people of Korach and the crime they committed? Why was it that the way they had to go was through the ground opening them up and swallowing them? And our rabbis tell us that we see a very important principle here, and that is that every other crime can be dealt with on the planet. If somebody steals, if somebody even kills, that can be dealt with on planet Earth. But if there's going to be internal discord and fights amongst the Jewish people, a person getting into disagreement with another person, not realizing that we're completely bound in one unit, that there's no room for on the planet. So much so that the ground had to open up and remove them from the planet. They couldn't get punished on this planet because there's no room on the planet for people who are starting fights within the Jewish people. That is such a big crime and such a hard thing to bear that the planet itself had to remove that. And that's why this was the particular punishment chosen for Korach, to send a message to him and everyone throughout history that there's one thing that there's absolutely no room for on this planet, and that is internal discord within the Jewish people. On behalf of Makarve, Shabbat Shalom.